Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Robert, and today I want to discuss Tin Realm. This is the sixth Tin game by Graying Gnomes Jason Glover, and I finally got to try it. And to give you some background, I've played every other dungeon crawler style solo game by Jason Glover until now, and I've played this a total of 4 times. So, to give you a really quick gameplay overview, in this game, you're gonna pick your random race and a class. Each class has a special ability, certain stats, and a card from the trappings deck. Okay, so basically starting items. You will then create this semi-randomizable map with your meeple starting here and your day counter starting at 1, and you'll also adjust your stats accordingly to your character. And the goal of the game is to traverse the map, and you have to make it to this last spot here alive. Now, there's a couple ways that you can lose. You have 7 days to reach this spot, and you can also die by getting your health points down to 0. Okay, and just like in other dungeon crawler style games by the same publisher, you're gonna have this dungeon or exploration deck of sorts where you're gonna pick 2 cards and resolve one of them. Okay, and just like in Tin Helm, you're gonna either resolve the card that's on top, okay, or if you don't like your odds of what is shown at the bottom, you can then instead use this card to resolve its icons, and then you're forced to resolve the icons of the next card in the deck. Okay, so either you do this or you choose the first one and then flip the other one and resolve those icons instead. Okay, now there is an interesting twist with this, and it's that now they've added this half icons to the exploration cards, which you can try to match. And that's how you advance through the map. Okay. When you match icons like so here, or here, or here, that's how you move your meeple forward on the map trail. Okay. And there are certain spots where you're going to be able to find some reprieve by camping or possibly finding some food. Okay. In order to keep yourself alive uh, for the journey. Okay. Now there's also the skull icon. Okay, so sometimes when you resolve the card, you have to place it either left or right of this panorama. Okay, and there's gonna be some times where if there's bad luck or you don't plan accordingly, you're gonna end up matching that skull icon, which will send you back 3 steps on the map, and it'll also make you lose half your life, which is pretty devastating. Along the way, you're gonna find different types of encounters like labyrinths, altar, wanderer, campsites, oak warden, and you're also gonna find enemies to fight. Okay, the enemies scale just like in the other dungeon crawlers according to where the day counter is at. Okay, so the higher the day count, the more health they have. When you go through the 12 card deck, that's when you move the day counter 1 space forward. Okay, and of course you're also going to be able to find awesome loot to improve your character. Okay, so now let's talk about what I liked. First, I want to mention this panorama and icon matching mechanic that has been included with this entry. So I think it works really well because it adds an extra layer of decision making and barely any rules overhead. And it also helps it convey this sense of overland exploration. And considering this small portable format, that it's a pretty tough task to accomplish because of the component limitation. But the game does a really good job of making you feel that you're exploring a land rather than dungeon delving like in the other entries. I also liked the extra races and classes, which are also compatible with Tin Helm if you happen to own that entry. Okay, not to mention the loot cards and also enemies. I'll also say that I found the victory condition of reaching the last spot on the trail more interesting than the finding a certain amount of shards from Tin Helm. And of course, as it is the case with many Grey Gnome games, the artwork and presentation are spectacular. So great job on that. Now I want to move on to a few things that I wasn't a fan of. So typos make a return here, unfortunately. But yeah, we do have a few typos in the rulebook, and also on loot cards we have Elixir, which for a second I thought that it was maybe an old way an old English way of spelling that word, but don't think so. That doesn't seem to be the case. It's also misspelled on the exploration card, unfortunately. And next is a complaint that I have with every game in this format, including Dust Runner and Tin Realm. And it's the fact that the rules come in these cards, which are just cumbersome to navigate through when learning the rules. And I wouldn't mind as much if they were at least offered in a plain Word or PDF format that you could download from the publisher, and it doesn't seem to be the case. So I went ahead and made mine, okay? And I didn't type all of this manually. I just used Google Lens to basically, it turns the picture into text for me. Still took me a bit of time to put it together, but I think this just helps a lot with learning and relearning the game, okay? I think I'll do it with other entries in the series because I just really detest navigating these cards. I do appreciate that at least it includes it in the tin, okay, at the same time on the other side of that coin. It's, because there's a lot of people that it doesn't sit well with a lot of people that some of these portable games don't include the rules at all, and you have to either scan a QR code or download the rules yourself. But I think it could be a win-win situation if the publisher simply offered a plain text PDF for people to highlight and edit. And also, there's a bit of a rules oversight here that I found throughout my playthroughs, and it's the fact that when you match the skulls, it says to lose half of your life, and it doesn't specify if it's rounded up or down, and I couldn't even find any answers to that. And it seems that other people had that question, but they couldn't find an answer on board game geek forums for this. Oh, and one last con I wanted to mention is the fact that considering that some of this content from this game is supposed to be compatible with Tin Helm, I really wish that there was a way to distinguish which content belongs to what, like some kind of set icon or something, because I would like to mix and match things, but then how am I going to know how to separate it? So those were my pros and cons, and overall, I think this is a worthy addition to this series of dungeon crawlers by Grey Gnomes. And again, I do think that it conveys that sense of overland adventure really well, despite its tin format and component limitation. So I definitely recommend it. And the only reason why I'd probably pick some of the other entries is if you prefer the theme or the dungeon crawling element rather than a overland adventure. But stay tuned for my next video, which I'll link here once it's out, where I'm going to rank and compare more in depth these Grey Gnome Games dungeon crawlers, which hopefully will be helpful to people who might have a hard time choosing which one is best for them, okay? Especially for folks overseas that might have a hard time with the shipping fees from the game crafter, in case that you have to limit your picks. But yeah, folks, those are my thoughts on Tin Realm, another awesome game by Jason Glover. And I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, go ahead and put them in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.